Hello everyone and welcome to Spot. In this episode we're gonna review some really interesting but not very popular Runeword, and that's gonna be Voice of Reason. What I've got prepared here is two face blades with 4 open sockets each as my weapons of choice, and you can also make this Runeword in 4 open socket maces, but I really rather use a face blade as a base because the attack speed on the face blade is what I'm aiming for instead of the damage. On this Runeword there is not enhanced damage, so that's why I'd rather use something which is hitting faster instead of trying to squeeze a bit of extra physical damage. So let's go ahead and do the Runeword. To make this Runeword you need 4 runes, which are Lem, Ko, El and Eld. Quite easy to get by, nothing expensive there, so I'd say this is definitely a budget Runeword. And let's go ahead and make one. So Lem, Ko, El and Eld. And what we've got here is decent roll, I'd say. There's only 2 varying stats on this Runeword, which are the damage to demons and the damage to undead. I think the damage to demons ranges between 220% up to 310 as far as I believe, and also the damage to undead is like 300 up to 370 as far as I remember correctly, something in those ranges. So this one rolled quite decently, I'd say. Now let's talk about briefly on the options which the Runeword gives. So straight out of, we've got 50 attack rating, 271% damage to demons, 361% damage to undead, so really decent amounts in both of these. 50 attack rating against undead, 100 to 220 cold damage, this is really decent. There is also a minus 24% to enemy cold resistance, plus 10 to dexterity. There's also a cannot be frozen mode, which is really helpful, and 75% extra gold from monsters. Now let's talk about the mechanics which this Runeword provides. So we've got 15% chance to cast level 13 Frozen Orb on striking, and also 18% chance to cast level 20 Ice Blast on striking. Both of these are really interesting. This Runeword can be useful for Kixin Assassin, also a Ziegler Paladin, like Holy Freeze for example, this will be a really good fit. Also, you can make 2 of these and run them on a Frenzy Barbarian, also gonna work quite good. I'd say it's average fit for a Fury Druid, but it can be used. There's some good perks about this weapon. Now I'm gonna make a second roll, so let's see what the ranges we're gonna get this time. Now we've rolled almost the minimum on the damage to undead and quite a decent roll on the damage. Oh, excuse me, we've rolled almost minimum on damage to demons and quite decently on damage to undead on this one. So when we compare these two, the first roll is definitely better. This Runeword, it's quite similar to Rift, but I'd say in certain builds it can be more desired and more powerful. You can also put it on Act 5 Mercenary. This can be quite interesting as well, to see your mercenary spamming frozen orbs all around. It's actually quite funny. And if you combine 2 of these on a Frenzy Barbarian, you get minus 48% to enemy cold resistance, and you also gonna spam a lot of frozen orbs and ice blasts everywhere, so take that in mind. After all, I'd say it's a very interesting Runeword. It's definitely not designed for physical damage. It's specifically targeting cold. So it's mostly for niche builds and setups. Probably that's one of the reasons why it's not very popular. But I really like it, and I'm gonna make few characters based around this Runeword, so stay tuned for that. I think that's gonna be the end of this video, guys. I hope it brings you some inspiration to try and make new builds. And you can also roll it in a 4-open socket maze for a poly-free Zealer, which also can come with some paladin specific skills, for example. This can be quite interesting as well. And that's gonna be it for this video, guys. You know what to do if you liked it and it's been helpful for you. Stay tuned for the next one, and I'll see you later. Bye.